don't let first impressions fool you. This truck proves that beauty is more than skin deep. Thanks to Need a Car, meet Ross and his split personality 55 GMC pickup.
Yeah, it's always been cars from a really young age. Not fussy on, I'm not forward holding, just love everything cars. Yeah, it's definitely just a bug we can't shake. I don't even try to get out of it, to be fair. It's just a way of life, and it's probably not going to change, to be honest.
Yep, Ross has the auto bug as bad as they get, and he wasn't exaggerating the lack of bias. The low-slung GMC is why we're here, but its stablemates range wildly from a big block Buick to a 20B RX3 coupe with a side of RX7 drift car. Four-wheel drives are in the mix too. Ross and his wife operate both four-wheel drive warehouse and RPM performance. Yep, he's in deep. And when he decided he might need a pickup in his life, that too wouldn't be half done. A scheme that would lead Ross to a truck-shaped pile of parts on TradeMe.
Loved it, wasn't very rusty, all the parts were there that we needed to do the build, so yeah, jumped at it.
And the grand plan?
The paint was always going to stay the same on the outside. You can't recreate it, so I wasn't going to change it. It had to sit on the ground, and I was always going to be Detroit steel wheels, so that was a no-brainer. The engine was sort of set on for a while, went over a few options, big blocks and LS's, and I just want something that's not so precious, I suppose. You don't have to clean every time you take it out, you just get in, drive it. You see it plenty in America, you take a lot of inspiration from them and then chuck the Kiwi touch on it.
While the finish weathered and baked in by Mother Nature for 6 decades is a big part of the GMC's character, it's also the most confusing.
When are you going to paint it, or please don't paint it? Yeah, 99% of people will ask you one or the other.
But for this GMC, beauty is more than skin deep, and the truck's mottled panels conceal a lot of clever engineering and a lot of hours. This was the domain of Matt Hayter of Topors Hayter Precision Metalworks, the man tasked with overseeing the pickup's build. With the truck on Matt's workshop floor, the first step was to order those 20-inch Detroit steel wheels so he could get started on dropping the GMC much closer to the ground. A TCI Mustang 2 independent front end wasn't deemed up to scratch to start with, so was given the Hayter treatment before being grafted onto the box chassis. Out back, a big C-notch clears a Ford 9-inch diff located by a custom fabricated four-link. Ride-Tech's Shockwave airbags all round sees the GMC drop to new lows. For Matt, the fact that this was all to be hidden under an as-found truck body was no excuse to cut any corners.
Yeah, he's super switched on for this kind of thing. He's honest, he's a hard worker. I couldn't rate him high enough, to be fair. He did a bloody awesome job.
Pop the hood, and this split personality GMC's alter ego becomes far more apparent. Chev's 6.2-litre LS3 was given the nod for motivation, backed by a Tremex 6-speed. But it's the presentation that's the talking point, and it's in stark contrast to the truck's exterior.
When people come up, have a look at it, and then they look in the tray, they see the tray, and then they look in the interior, and they see the interior, and they're sort of blown away, and then you pop the hood, look under there, and yeah, people are gobsmacked, and compared to the outside, it's a totally different truck underneath and inside.
But it's not so pretty it gets a pass from heavy lifting.
Yeah, definitely no trailer queen. I'll happily do skids in it, scrape it over bumps and whatnot. No, it gets used and it gets abused and it loves it.
So, with a clear objective from day one to make this GMC look like just an original old truck that's been dropped over some big wheels, but one that upon closer inspection reveals the true quality of its engineering and metalwork, well, it's fair to say that mission has been more than accomplished.
Oh, probably above expectations, to be fair. Matt's just done an incredible job. We sourced a lot of as much as we could locally, paint, interior, wiring. Everyone's just went above and beyond to make it what it is.
But while this truck might be finished, there's one thing for certain. Ross sure isn't.
I'd say the car bug's going to get worse. I sort of always had in mind to maybe get one in every decade, a car from every decade. So I think we're slowly ticking it off, actually.